Live from Thirsty Tortoise Brewing in the brew house again. Video number 2 today. We're going to talk about bottling our beer. So you bust your butt to brew it. You work hard as heck to get it either in a keg or in bottles. And we got to get ready for competitions. Because although we love to drink it and we love to share it, we also like winning. So if you're anything like me, I want to put in some competitions, try to win a couple things. So I'm going to show you my overly simplified technique of bottling, and it's a secret, top secret. You're not allowed to share it with anybody. There are several different instruments available in the homebrew shops and online that are all around helping you produce a better bottle for competition. I have found the secret through the help of my brew club at Special Operations in Tampa Bay, Florida. It's actually super simple. So I've got a keg in here, in the keg cooler, that's getting ready to get, I'm going to pull some bottles off, okay? And I've got a picnic tap. It's just a little picnic tap. You get these at your homebrew shop or you get them online, I'm sure. I've got my pin lock connector. Everybody loves the old-fashioned pin lock kegs, including me. All right. I've got my bucket of Sandy down here. Y'all probably can't see it, or maybe you see the top of it. And I've got my bottling tree here. So all my bottles have been rinsed with sanitizer, and they're all getting nice and dry. And that way I am nice and clean with my bottling technique. But let's talk about this guy for a sec. This thing's a game changer. Let's not overcomplicate the bottling process if it doesn't need to be, okay? You go and buy a homebrew kit, and it's going to come with something that looks a little bit like this. They call it a bottling wand. At the end of the day, it's got a little spring on the bottom of it. Makes you feel real fancy. You push down in the bottle, you end up with foam all over the place, trying to figure out what the heck you're doing with it, right? Let me tell you something. Forget all that. Get the spring out of the way, get everything out of the way, and get yourself just the piece of plastic. I think it's plastic. Yeah, it's like a plexiglass plastic tube, okay? Get your picnic tap. And you're going to find out that if you go and stick this into your picnic tap, man, it lines up like it was meant to be there. It's so perfect. It's nice and snug. It's just a perfect fit. Now what do I got? Now I've got basically a throttle-controlled trigger mechanism to fill my bottles so that I can get them exactly the way I want to get them. Okay? I personally get this big old heavy 32-ounce mug, and I leave this thing sitting in here. It's nice and heavy so that thing can't tip it over. If you go to use a pint glass or something like that, you're going to end up with spilt beer all over the place. Get a big, thick mug or pitcher or something like that and park this thing inside of it while you're bottling. So basically what you're going to see me do is I'm going to fill a bottle, and I may fill a couple, and I'm going to park this thing. I'm going to go cap them, and I'm going to pick it right back up and go fill. So that's enough talk. Let me show you and get into it. All right, y'all, let's get to bottling. Inside the keg cooler right now is my keg. My picnic tap is hooked up, sitting in my heavy mug so it doesn't tip over and spill on me. All right, I got my extra CO2 line. I've got 4 glass bottles. Competitions want 3. I make 4, and I pick the best 3 based on the fill level. And I've got a bomber. I always start with the bomber because it lets me work the kinks out. If I'm dealing with foam out of the gate because of the temperature change, it's in the bomber. I could care less. The bottles are the important thing when you're talking about competitions. So, first things first, I am going to purge all these with a little layer of CO2. All right, and this is an IPA that I'm doing, so it's important to get that layer of CO2 in there. That'll help keep oxygen from ruining the beer before it gets to the judge. All right, let's go. Got my tap. I'm going to start with the bomber. I'm putting the stick all the way down on the bottom. All right, and right out of the gate, I'm going to get a layer of foam, and that's just because it's flowing through this line, and the temperature change, the temperature correction is happening. Okay, my speed is going a little bit too fast, so I'm going to back my regulator down just a hair. And I'm going to keep going on this bomber bottle. All right, we're going to move over to our first competition bottle, and we're going to see how she looks. It's coming out really smooth now. Nice and smooth, taking its time. It's got a nice little bit of foam up top. That's okay. I'm going to do this second one, and then I'm going to stop to cap these. Put that guy there. Grab our capper here. Start with the competition bottles first. I kind of cut through the foam, again, just keeping oxygen out. 1, 2. There's 2 competition bottles that look actually pretty dang good. Again, I'm going to cut through the foam here. Hopefully you can see this. Just cut the top of the foam off. Put my cap on. My bomber is done. Not the most perfect fill on the bomber, but I knew that. I knew that going into it. That's why I started with the bomber. Okay? Now I've got my foam issues worked out. Let's fill these other 2 real quick. Again, a nice steady flow of the beer. Nice and clean, not a big foam bomb. I'll be able to get a good fill line. And then over into the next one. Okay, good. Got 2 more right here. Capped. Capped. All right, let me try to get you a close-up of these. So look at it. Looks like a perfect fill. The fill line is what I think is fantastic. All right, some judge might tell me otherwise, but I think it looks great. And I'll show you the first 2. There's the first 2 that we did. If you notice, this one is actually would be probably, I would probably get docked a point on that because it's a little bit low on the fill line, whereas that guy is going to come up and looks like in a much better spot. So this will probably be my oddball out, and I will probably be submitting these 3, and I'll be drinking this one the day of their judging. I like to do that. I'll have that extra one, and I'll actually drink it. What I think is the day of the judging. Who the hell knows? But at the end of the day, it's usually a weekend before the results, and I'll drink it just to kind of see what it tastes like at that point. The reality is these things are going to get moved around. They're going to get warm. They're going to get cold again. So I want to see what that hop profile is going to be like. Although I guess I can't reenact it 100%. I can at least get a good feel for what they're going to taste. So that was my bottling on the IPA. I'm getting ready to basically go through the exact same exercise for a brown ale. So hopefully that's helpful. Again, I don't think you need to overcomplicate the bottling process. This has worked out great. You probably can't see here, but there's some metals over here in the brew house. So I don't have any, and this is all coming from this bottling process. All right, so there's some different awards here, all from that. I don't have any fancy Blickman bottling gun or anything. So it's that simple. Try to keep that stuff simple if we can, and we get to save a little bit of money. We don't have to spend any fancy money on those bottling tools. So, all right. Hope everybody has a great day, and let me know if you got any questions. Subscribe to the channel, and that way you can get alerts. I hope I'm putting out some good stuff, help some of the newer home brewers that are just kind of getting acclimated with the process. And from Tampa Bay, Florida. Thirsty Tortoise Brewing. Y'all have a great day.